Hi there. My name is David Mackey, and I want to welcome you to my little demonstration on how to use the Yoast SEO plugin for WordPress sites. And hopefully I'll give you enough to get started to know how to get results on search engine optimization as quickly as possible. Just a little bit of a background. The reason I'm doing this presentation today is I was at a WordCamp Toronto on the weekend. And during my presentation, when I wanted to do a demo, we ran into some AV issues. So I'm following up that particular presentation at the WordCamp and going to be posting this particular presentation on the web so some other people can enjoy it, whoever was not at the WordCamp. Okay, so what do I want to do for the demo? Okay, we're going to start with the question, why use Yoast SEO? And it's a really simple answer. It's a very popular WordPress plugin. And the reason it's popular is because it makes doing search engine optimization, or SEO, very, very easy. And part of the demo, I want to talk about how you install the Yoast SEO plugin and activate it. And then there are going to be some basic WordPress configuration items that you need to change right out of the box with a out of the box WordPress install. And then last but not least, we're going to add a new page or a post with the Yoast SEO features. So Yoast SEO features. On the presentation I did on the weekend at the WordCamp Toronto, I broke the features, I talked about the features in 3 different sections, and I want to repeat it here because it's important for people who are starting out with Yoast SEO to know what to focus in on and what not to focus in on. So content is what everyone who's starting out with SEO should focus in on. You should have good content. The content should be applicable to the audience that you want to attract to your website, and that should be your main focus, frankly. However, it's also good from a marketing perspective to think about keywords that your target audience might be using in search engines. So after you've focused on good content and attracting content for an audience that is appropriate for the people who you're targeting, you might want to think about the keywords, not might want to, you do want to think about the keywords that those people will be using on Google and Bing in order to find your content. And then the last piece, the last category that I talked about for the Yoast SEO features was structure. And this is where I would not recommend the beginners worry too much about. If you become intermediate and advanced with your SEO knowledge, certainly that's where a lot of information, good information, is going to be useful. But I don't think you need, as a beginner, it's not the structure, the features that are focused on structure of the HTML and structure of the website are things that you don't need to do right at the beginning. But you should be aware of them and not be frightened off when people are talking about SEO details that do talk about the structure. You do want to pick up over time some information. But the good news is the Yoast SEO is going to help guide you for a lot of those detailed structure information. You'll see that in a moment or two. Okay. So, let's go past the slides. Let's actually get into the demo itself. And to start with, I have the dashboard, like a regular WordPress dashboard. Nothing fancy there. And then if you go down to the plugins, I'm just looking over on the left, if you go down to the plugins and click on that, you'll see the plugin page. And it's to bring in Yoast SEO, it's as simple as saying add new in the top left. Give that a second. And then we need to search for Yoast SEO. Okay, and that was the search was on the right. And lo and behold, there it appears. And now it's as simple as saying install now. Click on the install now button. It'll download some files and then it'll eventually say, do I want to activate? Just give it a second there. There it is. And yeah, let's activate this plugin right now. All right. So at the very beginning, you see right on the top part of the web page, we have 3 notifications. Let's go take a look at that as a start. I think I'll do the WordPress configuration in a second. And it says, okay, we've updated new version. Okay, as an improvement, I'm not going to worry about that. Don't miss your crawl errors. Okay, that'll take a look at that maybe later, but not right now. But it's interesting in that the Yoast plugin has automatically detected the first basic WordPress configuration that I wanted to change. And Yoast is saying we have a huge SEO issue. And the issue is that we're blocking access to the robot. So we're not letting the Google search engine and the Bing search engine bots crawl or review our site. Now we can click on the link that Yoast is presenting to us, but the link is actually over here under the regular WordPress settings configuration under the reading settings. So if you look over here on the left, settings, and then I'm going to go down to reading. I'm actually going to go that way. And then this item down here, search engine visibility, we currently have it checked to discourage search engines from indexing the site. So that's not what we want to do. So we're going to unclick that. We're going to save the changes. And lo and behold, the notification goes away. And that was the first. So we've downloaded the plugin, we've activated it, and we've changed a basic WordPress configuration to allow search engine bots to review our website, the content that we're going to be posting. But there's one other change that I want to make before we get into adding the page. And again, you go to the WordPress settings, and there's something called permalinks. So if again on the left, to go down under settings, then click permalinks. And for those of you who have not used permalinks before, permalinks essentially help, they tell WordPress how you want your URLs to be configured. And a URL is essentially the address that you tell the web on how to find your content. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when you identify keywords that are important to your content, important to the audience who you're trying to attract to your content, it is important to actually put keywords into the URL. And the easiest way to do that, without having to change too much of the underlying code, is to go to the WordPress settings, permalinks, and make sure that the common settings are on post name. And what that means is WordPress will automatically create a URL that will have the post name that you create embedded in the URL itself. And that will help Google, the Google bot and the Bing bot, to, it'll give them a signal to say that this type of keyword, there's content on this page that's related to this keyword, okay? So that's the second WordPress item that I wanted to highlight. Make sure it's set to post name. Let's go on to creating a page. So I'm just going to go to another tab that I have set up. I have it set up to pages, but this could also apply to posts, okay? And you'll notice right now, this page was originally brought up before the Yoast SEO plugin was activated. And I'm going to refresh, but take a look over here on the right. After I refresh, the Yoast SEO plugin is going to add some information that will be very useful for us. So let me just refresh. Okay. And then you can see Yoast has added the SEO column and a readability column. Sorry. Now, right now they're gray because we haven't done any work with Yoast SEO on the existing pages that I've created. But what I want to do is I want to add a new page. Okay, and this is where we're going to get into the Yoast SEO functions. Okay, so the adding a page, there's basic WordPress stuff, which is, let's add a title. Let's say WordCamp Toronto. Now, it was in 2016, but I think the information I'm giving right now is not going to be too time dependent because we really rely on Yoast to find out, to keep, as long as we're updating the Yoast plugin, we will have updated information about what are the best SEO techniques in the future. Okay, so I'm putting in WordCamp Toronto 2016, that's our title. And I'm going to leave the content blank right now because I want to show what Yoast is telling us right now, okay? So there's two parts when you're adding content to a page or a post. There's two tabs that Yoast adds onto each page to help us put in good content. It defaults to the focus key, so this is where you would put in your keyword, okay? Let's say WordCamp Toronto. Okay, and that will tell Yoast the type of keywords that we want this content to be related to. And you watch the little circles because that was gray, it's now red because the content up here, which is blank, doesn't match the keyword content that we're intending to focus in on. And I'm going to quickly switch over to the readability tab. Okay, so I just clicked on that. Hopefully, try that again. There it is. And Yoast is saying to us, readability, we have far too little content. Please add some content to enable a good analysis. Well, that kind of makes sense because we have no content. So Yoast is helping us move in the right direction. Something I do want to mention before I go too far: readability is not directly related to the SEO, to the search engines. Readability, Yoast is putting, it's analysis that Yoast is putting in to help humans read your content well, and it's a very valuable function that Yoast is giving us because it's helping us communicate well with the audience of this content. The keyword tab is actually where the real SEO work is being focused in on by Yoast. Okay, so let's get some content now. I have some, rather than write it up myself, I have some pre-content that I'm just going to copy and paste in here. And watch when I add the content, let's see how it's going to change my readability. Take a look over here. Readability needs improvement and SEO needs improvement. So let's see what happens when I add my content. Cool. My SEO has changed from needs improvement to okay, and now it's gone to good. So let's go take a look down here. Let's see under the content. If you look again, keyword, go past the snippet, past the focus word, look at the analysis. Yoast is actually identifying specific items of its analysis of the content that we've added. And I'm not going to go through all the specific items. I'm going to leave that up to you to do that later on your own because your content is going to have, Yoast will analyze your content and tell you what you need to do. So I don't want to get into the specifics because that's something that's going to be, you're going to have to customize for your own content. But you can see that because I've added some content and that content is related to WordCamp Toronto. By the way, what I did is I took the poem "'Twas a Night Before Christmas" and just added a few keywords like "'twas the night before WordCamp Toronto." So I put WordCamp Toronto in there. So the content I added does match up with the keyword that I put in down here. And we now have a green. We've moved the keyword analysis to something that it says SEO is good. So that's probably good enough. Oh, sorry, actually, I apologize. One last thing I want to mention on the keyword analysis is this the snippet editor. Okay, and the snippet, I'm just highlighting that right now. The snippet is what you potentially would see as a result of a Google search for WordCamp Toronto. This is how your record would come up in that search request. And it has the title of the page, which is WordCamp Toronto 2016. The website is actually one of my clients, it's Port Perry Marina, so that gets added in. The URL is localhost/WordCamp Toronto 2016. That is taken directly from the name. And again, that's all set up because that's a keyword that I wanted this page to be focused in on. Now, this information down here is a meta description. And it's been populated, I believe Yoast is populating it based on the content that I've added in. But I'm going to edit it, and I want to actually put in a meta description is human readable description or content that will help your audience, if I can spell it right, audience to decide to click on your link. Okay. So it's not, the meta description is not read by the search engine bots, but it is very important for the humans that are looking at the search engine result pages, and it's a little bit of copy that you want to use to convince the people, convince real people to target your site. Okay, so that was just a little thing. I'm going to close the snippet editor right there. I think that's all I want to talk about in terms of the keyword, but let's go back and take a look at the readability. And again, the readability is not directly related to SEO, search engine optimization. This information Yoast is using to help you analyze or help you make sure that your content can reach humans. I'm just going to take a look at the top one. The text does not contain any subheadings. There should be at least one subheading. So it's just saying that right now it's all paragraphs. And I'm just going to highlight that, change that from a paragraph to heading 2. Again, I've got this a little set up ahead of time, so I'm going to change that to heading 2. So we're putting in some structure that humans will understand by using headers, H2. And by the way, just if you're interested, sorry, let me finish this before I get my thoughts crossed. Okay. In case you're interested, the title of the page that was added in up here, that comes in as an H1. And if you're interested, the reason the heading 1 or an H1 header and an H2 or H1 heading and an H2 heading are signals that the Google search bot will use to help decide where your page will rank in the overall its overall search engine. So I'm just going to save that. Okay. And you can see our readability has moved up from needs improvement to readability okay. The search engine optimization is still good. And that's really, rather than getting too caught up into the details, because again, the Yoast plugin will give you specific recommendations for your content. And I don't want to go through the huge amount of information that Yoast might say is applicable to your site. I just want to give you a feel of how you can easily get Yoast working for your web page, or sorry, for your website on a page-by-page basis. So let's move back to, okay, here we go. So if you want the slides from the WordCamp presentation that I did, they're up on SlideShare. I suspect it was recorded, video recorded. I don't think that will be out for a while. It's August right now, August 2016. So if you're listening to this in maybe 3 to 4 months, maybe it'll be up there. And then just for other references, if you do want to extend your SEO knowledge, there are some excellent references by going to the Yoast SEO blog. You can also go to Search Engine Land, and of course Moz blog is an excellent reference that will give you more than enough information on keeping up to date with what are the latest and greatest SEO signals that you need to watch out for. If you have any questions, you can reach me at my email address or on Twitter at dbmackey. And The other best to reach me either through email or Twitter, my DBM Mackey Twitter account. And that's pretty much it for the demo for today. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this quick demo will help you find SEO success with your Yoast SEO plugin and with WordPress.